It was always important for me to make friends. We moved a lot. And things were okay until I moved to a new high school that had like a lot of rich kids. There was this one group of girls in my grade that just seemed to rule the lunchroom, the hallways. And I don't know why, but I gravitated towards them. I guess I thought that if I was one of them, I could be happy. And at first things were good. They treated me like I was special, like having a brown girl in the group made them cool or something. But within a few weeks, things got bad. And I didn't know why or how to make it better. It started as just comments about my clothes since I bought them from Goodwill. But soon it was like just seeing me made them angry. They would taunt me in the halls. "You got ghetto stink on you, girl. Why don't you shower, girl?" They would push me and trip me. This one time I was rushing to gym class and this girl just stuck her foot out right in front of me and I fell and almost broke my wrist. Someone made an Instagram page to belittle me, torment me. They photoshopped my face on these disgusting photos and posted them. She ain't no Valentine. My life had become a nightmare.
What do I remember? That the way he started acting, it came out of nowhere. It was like he was possessed or something. His crushing weight of his body that made it hard for me to breathe, let alone scream. I remember I couldn't stop shaking. The weird way that I felt completely helpless, like I had left my body, like I was like paralyzed, but with my mind racing. But what I don't remember is saying yes, or acting in any way that what he was doing to me was okay. I didn't call anyone that night. I mean, I thought about my mother a little bit, but I couldn't have that conversation. I never told anyone. I thought he was my only problem. I knew I never wanted to see him again, and he was always there, so I had to transfer to another school. It was like I put him and it in the rearview mirror, kind of just like it never happened. So I switched my major to business, and I got a job right after I graduated. So everything was fine, right? Except it wasn't. Time is supposed to heal everything, but it got worse. I couldn't keep a boyfriend. I just didn't trust men. And there was this great guy my senior year of college, and he was so nice, and he was kind, and he was gentle, but no, I pushed him away. And then there were the nightmares. Feeling like I was being held down in this cold, dark, dirty room, unable to breathe. I'd wake up in a sweat, shaking really bad. Always the shaking.
When I was 9, my folks bought a cabin up in Wisconsin, and we'd go there in the summers on vacation. My uncle, my mom's brother, would come up a lot to go fly fishing, and we'd always eat what he caught. I liked him a lot. He was funny. He never talked down to me the way other relatives did. I'd watch him from the porch out there, mid-river, in his waders. It looked magical. Just how he knew where the fish might be, when they'd be biting. The way he could place his cast in an eddy 50 feet downstream. He said he would teach me if I was interested. It was a whole new world. How to cast, not tying, picking the right flies, what to wear to stay dry. And in the winter, I spent a lot of time with him back home, learning to tie new flies, talking about fishing, just talking about stuff. So one time he asked me if I had a girlfriend. No. He said that if I wanted to get a girlfriend, I would have to learn a lot of stuff about sex. It was just like fly fishing, and technique is really important. I laughed. I thought he was joking. That was the beginning, I guess. It went on for the next 5 or 6 years until he died of a heart attack. I'm married with kids of my own now. 2 great kids, a boy and a girl, and I'm not going to let that happen to them. I'm very cautious, very protective. My wife thinks I'm nuts. You think everyone's a predator. She didn't know. Lately, I haven't been the best father or the best husband. I'd always enjoyed a drink or two when I got home, but the past few years it's gotten out of control. These rages, blackouts, despising my life, myself, feeling like I wanted to I don't know.
I had been divorced for about a year when I met who I thought was a nice guy, and we started going out. I didn't let him meet my little girl for a while, but as things got more and more serious, the 3 of us started spending time together, mostly at his place, which was nicer than mine, and eventually we moved in. That spring, he was laid off, and I was working full-time. And since my daughter only went to preschool for half days, he was willing to watch her in the afternoons. At some point, he began sexually abusing my daughter on a regular basis. I had no idea. She never said a word to me. I mean, I knew something was off with her. Lots of nightmares, bedwetting. She began sucking her thumb again, and she became wild and disobedient in school. I figured it was the divorce. The way I found out is that Freedom House staff came to her school to give a talk on safe touching and unsafe touching. My daughter, bless her heart, told her teacher and the Freedom House people that Mommy's boyfriend touched her just like the kid in the video. The school called child services right away, and DCFS came to talk to me at my house after they had gone to my daughter's school to talk to her. We brought her to a child advocacy center for a forensic interview. They told me there had been repeated penetration. How long would he have gone on doing this if not for the Freedom House staff being at her school? I learned that most child sex abuse is never reported. I'm so grateful they were there that day. And then they supported us throughout the whole process. Their legal advocate was with me the whole time. She helped me get a protective order for my daughter and was at every single court appearance for the criminal case. She gave me the strength to face the judge. She helped me talk to DCFS. She helped me find safe housing for me and my daughter because I'd given up my place. And the counselors Such caring professionals. My daughter was seeing a counselor there that was trained to work with children. She was crazy about her. The nightmares stopped. She was able to keep her bed dry. And her behavior at school began to improve. And I was able to see a counselor there as well to deal with my guilt over having brought this man into our lives. I'm so thankful.
When I moved back home after graduation, there was this Freedom House billboard in town. We believe survivors. That spoke to me, so I got up the nerve and I called. I said that I had been raped in college. That was the first time I ever told anyone, the first time I ever even said it out loud. The lady on the phone asked if I'd like to see a counselor. I did. I said, but how much would it cost? I knew my insurance wouldn't cover it, and after rent and food and gas, there wouldn't be anything left. And I knew I couldn't ask my parents, but the lady on the phone said it was free of charge for counseling.
My wife asked me to stop drinking, and I knew she was right. So I found a local AA group and I got sober. But I was still really messed up. One night I finally told the story about what went on with my uncle. Afterwards, I went out for a coffee with my sponsor, and he told me how brave I was and that I might want to see someone at Freedom House for counseling. I'll tell you, the counselor was great. They really helped me see that a lot of what I'd been through was a result of trauma, just like soldiers when they come back from war. It wasn't me. It wasn't my fault, and that we could work on this together. Seeing them once a week gave me the tools that I needed to get my life back, to learn to be happy.
The thing that helped me get through high school was joining a girls' group. It's a group run by Freedom House, and we discussed self-esteem, coping, relationships, friendships, and I started to realize that I am not the only one. And none of it was my fault. The group, the counselors, they gave me courage to speak. They gave me skills to help reach out to other students to stop bullying. I want the world to know my story and what I suffered. You know, what happened to me, it hasn't just gone away. Sometimes I'm still really afraid in new situations, but I have those feelings less and less now. And I actually just applied to colleges. The one thing I know is that I am not a victim anymore. I am a survivor. And that's a big difference.
My counseling is still ongoing. I now know that the crime that was committed against me doesn't define who I am, and it can't control my life or my future. My counselor is walking with me, letting me lead the way. I'm learning how to cope. I'm learning how to find my voice. The gratitude that I have for the support that Freedom House is giving me is never ending. They have helped me to reclaim my life. I couldn't have gone this far without Freedom House.